you have to wonder, is it because of their race or their gender?
Can I just
that's not what it is.
Hold on a second.
That's not what it is.
Hogan, why would you
don't have to wonder about anything
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
why would you have these jobs because of their race or gender?
That's not what I said.
And not because they are qualified.
Not
So
what
are
I
they
said.
qualified or not?
That's not what I said.
Are they qualified or not?
What I said was
is a pilot sitting in a hold on,
stated-
Hogan, is a pilot sitting on an airplane, flying a plane?
You're telling me that when I came out of college and couldn't get a job, that was because I was not qualified?
You were in the White House when Donald Trump said he was going to put a woman on the Supreme Court, and then he picked Amy Coney Barrett. Is she not qualified?
She is extremely qualified.
Okay, so why is
why-
she qualified? But Ketanji Brown, okay.
So
I'm sure
Joe Biden didn't
Biden
only interview
didn't
men for
interview
black women for the job.
Joe Biden had said as he went in his search program.
That's exactly what he
That's
said. I
definitely
got the
not-
exact quote.
It's not in context at all what he was talking about. It was a conversation about affirmative action. You know, it was
Hogan,
there.
that
we
is
had
a
a president of the United
factual
States.
error that
we
you
had
are
a
making.
president of the
Hold
United
on,
States,
Hogan,
and
I don't
Joe
want
Biden,
you to-
who came out and said
Hogan, you're
he
changing-
wanted
listen, I don't want you to change the
a
subject
woman
because
of
you are
color
making
to be the vice president. So when I noticed
Hogan, you
that's
were-
what he said.
Hello, everybody. Guys, this panel was just incredible. The racism by these conservatives. These people are becoming less and less shameful about it. This was so disgusting. It's just crystal clear to who these people really are. Let's get into this segment and we'll talk about it.
Oklahoma tonight says it will require a Turning Point chapter at every high school in the state. That, of course, is the group that Charlie Kirk founded. The state superintendent, who you might be familiar with because he's no stranger to controversy, says that it's a move that's designed to fight the left.
We have seen the outpouring from parents, teachers, and students that want to be engaged in the meaningful work going on at Turning Point. For far too long, we have seen radical leftists with the teachers union dominate classrooms and push woke indoctrination on our kids. What we're going to continue to do is make sure that our kids understand American greatness, engage in civic dialogue, and have that open discussion. We will continue to do all that we can to make sure Oklahoma students have the best education possible.
And if that's not enough, here's what he wrote in a letter to parents. Whether your child attends a public school, private school, or is homeschooled, they now have the tools to start a chapter, make their voices heard. Our kids must get involved and active. Our fight starts now. Sochi, I don't even know where to begin, but this is real. This is actually happening in America.
Yeah, and it's scary. I mean, what happened to Charlie Kirk was a tragedy. And I actually take offense saying that the left wasn't speaking out, because I did, and so did a lot of other people, and Democrats did speak out that day and the days after. But I do not think that we should be forcing ideology on our children, especially in public schools. After the shooting of Gabby Giffords, we were not forcing ideology in Arizona about guns. You know, after Minnesota state legislator was killed and her husband was killed in their home by an anti-abortion activist, we weren't going into Minnesota schools and trying to promote abortion in those schools. So there are things that happen, and there are ways to honor Charlie Kirk's legacy. And I honestly think the best way to do that was what Erica Kirk was saying, was respect for the First Amendment, was things that Charlie lived by. This is not the respect for our public institutions and for First Amendment. This is forcing an ideology into our schools that I think is unacceptable.
Hogan?
Okay. Oklahoma itself, obviously a very conservative place. All 77 counties went for Donald Trump. They most likely will embrace at least parts of this. In the wake of Charlie Kirk's death, I think it can't be overstated the importance, the impact he's had on youth across this country. While I'm well aware that the left is going to be quite upset that students dare hear a different side of an issue as opposed to the leftist indoctrination they've been getting now in public schools for decades, thanks to the teachers' unions, this is a fight that they will have at the local level, undoubtedly. I would imagine, just for the sheer balance of the whole thing, this will end up being just fine. And I think students that want to opt in will opt in. Students that won't want to opt in won't opt in, and they'll do their own thing. But there are plenty of places to have robust, open, honest debate. Starting them in high school is a great place for that to begin.
Can I just say, Hogan, just to
That Oklahoma superintendent, this is that weirdo that was pushing to have those Trump Bibles in the schools. That guy is a real creep. He's so badly trying to get himself into Republican politics. I mean, Oklahoma, guys, you just heard him say all 77 districts went to Republicans and under Trump. Went for Trump. And what do you get with that? Last place in education. What a surprise there. Let that sink in. Last place. And they're talking about forcing schools to have this piece of trash is garbage. This stupid group, what is it, Turning Point USA, in schools. That's a good idea. Teach your students how to be proud, mindless bigots like Charlie Kirk. That's really smart. That will for sure also keep them safe, right? These people haven't learned a damn thing and will spread more hate than ever. This is what they got from all this. Keep it up, conservatives. Don't be surprised when the dynamite once again explodes after you keep running up to it with a lighter. I don't want to hear it.
boil things down. First of all, do you agree or disagree with the decision to force every high school in Oklahoma to have a Turning Points USA chapter?
Well, it depends on what they already forced them to do now.
Okay, so unless they're forcing them to have a Democrats, of America chapter, I'm not aware of any mandate anywhere in this country to have a political organization on campus. You're okay with that?
Again, at the local level, I am. Whatever they decide to do, they can do. That's what the beauty of this republic is.
They're not deciding. Local jurisdictions aren't deciding. It is the state that is deciding for schools. And to be honest with you, I also take offense to this lefty ideology something. Teachers are underpaid. They are doing the best job that they can do.
That's a non sequitur. It has nothing to do with anything.
Yes, it does.
No, it
You were
doesn't.
attacking
My mother
teachers.
was a public school teacher.
You were just saying
life.
leftist ideology coming from the teachers. The statement says
the teachers'
that.
unions, absolutely.
We just have to look at the teachers' unions' manifestos to see their
100%.
I'll answer your question. I don't think the state should mandate that there should be chapters of this or any other organization at schools. However, I do think local school boards should not be able to block it. Right now, first off, the organization is called Club America. That's the high school group. Their purpose is to promote free thinking and engage in grassroots activism. That's pretty good. It's a 501c3. It's a nonpartisan group. But, we see a lot of places where high schools are blocking organizations like the junior ROTC from coming in. We shouldn't have that either. Students should be able to organize in these good patriotic groups in their own schools, and where they can learn things and organize optionally.
I agree with that. I'm not aware. I don't know what the deal is with schools blocking ROTC, but I'm also not aware of any schools blocking the creation of Turning Point chapters. I mean, it's just if students want to create a chapter, they can. Why on earth is the state getting involved in
Clinton,
saying?
Mississippi. There's a controversy there right now that they may have tried to block a creation of.
Okay, well, we'll look at.
The school board, the local education association.
Well, look.
That's in the press in Mississippi.
I mean, look, look, let me read this line again. Our kids must get involved and active. Our fight starts now. What fight? I mean, what is he talking about?
Look, I was a public school teacher. I started my professional career teaching in public schools. Nowhere have I ever seen anything like this taking place short of what happened post-Civil War. What is going on in this country today is exactly what went on after Reconstruction in this country. And that is what is being attempted here. On January 6th, I knew exactly what was taking place. And I started writing a book about it that is going to be released on November 11th. Now, you probably ain't going to like the book because it's factual.
Will you sign it if I buy one?
Yeah, it's a factual book. It goes into exactly what was happening on January 6th. It goes into exactly what Project 2025 is all about. Read the part on Project 2025 on education and see what's there. It is exactly what they're doing in Oklahoma today. And they're getting their instructions from somewhere up here, and this superintendent is carrying them out.
The Ryan Walters, I mean, he's been quite a character this year. He's also been investigating Oklahoma school districts for allegedly not honoring Charlie Kirk's death. I guess some of what's my question is about all of this is, are we just, or not we, are conservatives just suddenly okay with a state superintendent or anybody dictating how people should feel, what schools should honor, what clubs should exist, what clubs should not? I mean, is that just part of the
You have one
ideology
elected
now?
official who is responsive to the primary voters of one state here. So let's don't put Ryan Walter's opinion onto everybody else. I'll tell you one thing we do know, though, is that when Melissa Hortman, the Speaker of the Minnesota Legislature, was shot, there was a commemorative resolution in the Congress, and every Republican voted for it.
Right.
When Charlie Kirk was assassinated for his political beliefs, there were 58 Democrats who would not vote for a resolution to honor him. So
And I was one of them.
Why do you
Because,
think it was?
I don't mind
This forcing thing is not going to work. They tried it with Jimmy Kimmel. Like, Turning Point USA is a bigotry spreading group. They're going to be putting these kids in danger. Let's just be real. It's a political arm of the Republican Party. To have it forced into school is just beyond comprehension. And what an amazing comparison to make to Melissa Hortman. Yes, Charlie was only spreading his political beliefs. What's the other joke that they said? Oh, Charlie Kirk was essentially spreading gospel. Diablo. These people are truly slow. The more they try and deny who he was and try to gaslight us, are they not noticing the more Charlie is getting revealed to who he really was? The more people are finding out why people thought he was so vile and sick, because he was. They're so badly wanting to grift off this and make money off Charlie Kirk that it's going to smack them in the face over and over.
in anybody's life. I've got a problem with their legacy. And I know what the legacy of Kirk was. When I turn on my TV and I see someone telling me what an awful person Martin Luther King Jr. was, when I see somebody telling me if I get on an airplane and there's a black pilot, I begin to wonder, is he qualified? What does that mean? Those are the words that came out of his mouth.
That's not what he said. And
That is exactly what he
that's
said. I
definitely
got the
not-
exact quote.
It's not in context at all what he was talking about. It was a conversation
Look.
about affirmative action. You know that, Congressman. This has been well litigated and well debated
Everything
multiple
about black
times.
people is about affirmative action.
Saying that.
And so what's wrong with affirmative action?
No.
Look,
what-
you're telling me that when I came out of college and couldn't get a job, that was because I was not qualified?
That's not what I'm saying.
But what are you saying?
What I'm saying is Charlie Kirk was very clear. If these companies openly say that they have to somehow fill a quota of people, whether it be a race or gender, not based on merit, but based on their race or gender, the obvious should be clear to everyone, which is that person then qualified?
So
that's
just
an
as-
obvious question. Because
Ketanji
of the
Brown.
bar that the corporation itself set up by saying publicly, we're going to do this type of DEI hiring, then you have to wonder, is it because of their race or their gender?
Can I just? That's not what it is.
Hold on, that's not what it is. Hogan, why would you
don't have to
to
wonder
Why?
about anything
Yeah,
like
I mean,
that.
why would you have to wonder that? The only
These are
reason you would
racist.
wonder that is if you're inclined to believe that nobody can be qualified if they are black and brown going
No,
into
and
those
that's
roles.
exactly-
and
Bingo.
also,
that's exactly
but
the
here's
point.
here's one other thing that I think is just a factual dispute with what you're describing. You're suggesting that the standards are lower for people of color filling these roles when there is absolutely
exact opposite.
no evidence.
The exact opposite.
No, but that's what you said.
No, it
said,
isn't.
Hold on, Hogan. You said that they are only getting these jobs because of their race or gender,
That's not what I
and
said.
not because they are qualified.
Not
So
what
are
I
they
said.
qualified or not?
That's not what I said.
Are they
What I
qualified
said-
or not?
What I said was
is a
the
pilot sitting in
the
a hold on,
stated-
Hogan, is a pilot sitting on an airplane flying
Yes,
a plane,
Abby.
whether he's black or white or a woman or gay or lesbian, if they are sitting in that seat and they meet the FAA requirements for being in that seat, are they qualified?
If they are qualified, I sure hope so.
Are they? But you don't believe that they're qualified
That's not what I
because
said.
of what?
What I said was if the criteria was their race or gender,
Yeah,
then
but
how am I to know
that's
if the
why I'm telling
qualification
you,
is
Hogan,
there?
that
We
is
had
a
a president of the
factual
United States.
error that
we
you
had
are
a
making.
president of the
Hold
United
on,
States,
Hogan,
and
I
Joe
don't want
Biden,
you to-
who came out and said
Hogan, you're
he
changing-
wanted
listen, I don't want you to change the
a
subject
woman
because
of
you are
color
making
to be the vice president.
The-
So when I noticed
Hogan, you
that that's
were-
what he said, that's not my
Hold
fault.
on, my
Joe
friend.
Biden said it.
You were in the White House when Donald Trump said he was going to put a woman on the Supreme Court, and then he picked Amy Coney Barrett. Is she not qualified?
She is extremely qualified.
Okay, so why is she
Amazing.
qualified, but Ketanji Brown Jackson is not?
He talked about the qualification as well. What I'm saying is, in that clear directive from Joe Biden, in the clear directive from those companies, they are saying we are filling a quota.
Let me ask.
They're not even saying filling
I'm
a
going to
quota
ask you
with the
again
most
because I think you have
qualified.
another opportunity to really think this through.
I've thought it
Donald
through.
Trump said,
Oh, we know.
I am going to pick a woman to go on the Supreme Court. Oh, you know what? Let me ask. Let me give you another one.
So should he not have
George
done that?
George H.W. Bush said,
Well, take it
I
back
am
to
going
Ronald
to
Reagan.
pick
That's his dissent.
I'm going to pick a black man to fill a role on the Supreme Court. Are those people unqualified?
I want always the most qualified people to hold those jobs.
Are they qualified or not?
It depends on their
Was it a
qualification.
quota or not?
It's always a quota when you base it on
because
race or
Ketanji
gender.
Brown
If you base
Jackson-
it on qualification,
Hogan,
if the person is hired as black
I
or a woman
really-
or whatever, it
listen,
doesn't
hold on.
matter.
So
That's
let
the
me just
point.
ask you a direct question.
It's the ultimate
Is it okay for
meritocracy.
Donald Trump to have DEI quotas or not?
It's not okay for anyone to have DEI
So then
quotas.
why did he have a DEI quota, by your definition, for Amy Coney Barrett?
He didn't. He said that was one of the selections. People said he should fill it with a woman.
Okay. He said he was going to fill it with a woman, and he did.
He did not only interview women for the job.
Correct.
Okay.
So
I'm sure.
Joe Biden didn't only
interviewed
interview men for black women for the job.
Joe Biden had said as he went in his search process, his short list would be all women of color.
and they were.
Listen,
And they were qualified.
that's not true.
They were
Listen,
qualified.
We're taking issue
Brad,
with the
you're talking about the
criteria.
guy
not-
that brought in the
Brad, I just think
campaign.
it's you guys are misleading. I'm not gonna say you're lying. I'm just gonna say you're misleading.
They're not misleading, Abby. They're being purposeful with their bigotry. It's so obvious. Why not see it in reverse? Then why not see if you see a black pilot that clearly it must have been harder for you to get there than a white person. It's obvious why conservatives don't see it that way. We all know why. This is so stupid. We are really to believe that effing companies are hiring people who aren't qualified to do a job, going to make a person fly a plane that isn't qualified to fly the plane and lose reputation, possibly lose the company, possibly a terrible accident? Are we to believe that companies are doing this just because they want to hire a black or Hispanic person to fly a plane? You know how idiotic that sounds? And obviously they don't believe that. They are just effing racist. It's why the logic doesn't make sense. They just won't come out and say, yes, we're bigots. This is what we believe about black and brown people, that they are incompetent. That's the truth. This is a better way to see it. What if a corporation was like, you know what, we're going to implement DEI hiring, and we want to target hiring Asian pilots, which is not even how it works. But let's just say, for this dumbass's sake, not her, the other guy, Hogan, would you say that these Asian people are unqualified or isn't about merit? Of course not, because there's a stereotype that Asians are intelligent. I wonder why it works in reverse for black and brown people. What's the stereotype there? Like, and also, would you say that before DEI and all these companies were doing all this crazy DEI, that companies were purely hiring on merit? I dare you say that. You don't think that companies, CEOs all across America, managers, had no biases when they're hiring people? You don't think that they hire people maybe who they felt that they could have a personal connection with or personally relate more to? That's not a possibility, right, jackass? There's no biases going on, right? Like, these people act so stupid because otherwise they would have to say they are racist. So they pretend that everyone else just doesn't get it. Don't you worry, we effing get it.
About what Donald Trump said. The day after, Justice Ginsburg died, he said he was going to pick a woman to replace her. He said that, okay? I'm not paraphrasing. That is what he said.
By that standard, he should not have issued that as a criteria.
All right.
All right, one more thing. Justice Thomas, who I'm sure you love. You love him, right?
Sure.
He was chosen to replace a black Supreme Court justice in part because he was a black man. Who is more qualified in terms of actual experience to be on the court, him or Ketanji Brown Jackson? Do you know?
I don't know if any of them.
Okay. Well, I've checked. She served as a federal judge for way longer. He actually didn't before she was put on the Supreme
No,
Court.
false. He was on the D.C. Court of Appeals,
Okay.
the second highest
Well,
court in
she
the
served.
land.
She
He was
served.
recommended
Yes.
by the
yes.
Bar Association.
He, yes.
You cannot besmirch
He was on there
qualified.
for. He was on there for a very brief period of
The
time.
second
She
highest
was
court
served
in the
as a
land.
judge.
We
for-
have never considered any nominee
Hold
for
on.
Supreme Court who was on the D.C. Court of
am
Appeals
not-
to be
hold
unqualified
on.
for the Supreme Court.
I am not
never.
suggesting.
Never, ever has that been
I
said.
am not suggesting.
You're saying Clarence Thomas was not qualified?
I'm not. Actually, no, not. I am not.
You just
I am
said
not
he was
suggesting
not
that
qualified.
he's unqualified at all.
You did.
I am saying
The
that he
hypocrisy.
is qualified just the way that Ketanji Brown Jackson is qualified, just the way that
Yes.
Amy Coney
No,
Barrett
you
is
said
qualified.
he was less qualified
No,
than Ketanji Brown Jackson.
I'm asking
No,
you.
that's what you
I'm
said.
saying about comparing their resumes. If you want to compare
You
their
said he
resumes,
was less
one of the
qualified
things
than
that
her.
Charlie Kirk said was that was that Ketanji Brown Jackson, if she says that she was affirmative action pick, then what she is saying is that she didn't have the brain processing power to get that job without replacing a white man.
Look,
But I'm asking you, if you objectively look at her resume, is that a factual statement?
oh, she's qualified for the Supreme
Okay,
Court.
so then
of
let's leave
course.
it at that. Because I just
She's
think
not
that.
very good at her job, but she's qualified.
Okay, let's leave it at that. Because we want to make a lot of broad statements
But
about
according
who's
to Kirk,
qualified
she
and
was a
who's not.
diversity hire.
Say that again?
That's what he said.
Yeah.
That Ketanji, was a diversity hire.
I want to go back to this all started
I got-
when we were talking
I got-
about
I got 12
whether
of
or
his
not,
quotes right here.
whether or not Democrats should have voted to honor Charlie Kirk's life. And Congressman, I respect you. You are a living legend. I deeply respect your motives. However, I think that this is a question of whether we honor people who gave their life to public service. I didn't agree with Charlie Kirk on everything.
Okay.
But he gave his life to public service.
I'll let you have the
may
last
have,
word on this. Go ahead.
But let me just say this. His life is one thing, his legacy is another. Now, I honor everybody's life. But when you tell me that was a diversity hire, when you tell me you're going to give thought to whether or not a black pilot is qualified, something else is going on in your head, and that's a legacy that I will never vote to honor. So if they're taking legacy off, which we asked them to do, and just honor his life, you got my vote. But his legacy, I know what my father's inherited from the legacy of the South.
All right. Thank you, everyone, for that.
Like, I wouldn't honor a damn thing about this fool Charlie Kirk, and again about that brain processing thing. Ketanji Brown Jackson named 4 black women, highly prominent position. They don't have the brain processing power, and they took white people a white man's job. Again, what do you think that this man thinks about the everyday black person he comes across, everyday Hispanic person he comes across? Do you think he thinks highly of them? When even those women don't have the brain processing power according to him, like, F these people. And like, this is the thing, even if he wasn't a true racist, Charlie Kirk and these two Republican dummies over here, if these guys weren't truly racist in their hearts of hearts, they can't let anyone know that. It's a requirement to denigrate black and brown people. You just have to. The Republican Party will oust you in a heartbeat. It's that simple. You will not have a career in Republican politics if you do not show a certain level of bigotry. That goes for black Republicans as well. You have to be willing to step on your own people. It's such a stupid premise. Like, because again, how the F do you not see it in reverse? How do you not see a black person, a black pilot, or in any prominent position, and think to yourself, shit, even with the uphill climb of oppression, of racism in this country, you still made it all the way up there? Why don't you see it that way? Think about it. White baby, black and or brown baby, born in the USA. You tell me who will have it harder to become a Supreme Court justice. Like, just cut the crap. We all know what's real. Conservatives, you don't have to say it. We all can see who you are. You want to believe what you want to believe. No matter if, it doesn't matter if Ketanji had 6 PhDs. It doesn't matter, right? Brown people, Hispanics out there, please take effing note. They think the effing same about our people, And don't you ever forget it. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you think about all this in the comments. Please leave a like, subscribe. This thing pisses me off. Please leave a like, subscribe. It really helps push the message out there. And I'll catch you in the next one.